Hi, it's Sarah. This morning I thought I'd share an energy tool. I just learned this tool and it's so simple and it's really powerful. Um, I learned it from Bert Goldman, who's been around forever, quantum jumping and all the things he teaches. But I think it's also probably a technique from neuro linguistic programming, NLP, because it has to do with eye movement. And so I'm just going to walk you through it. What it's really useful for is discovering how you what your core feeling is about something, and if you want to shift it. So many of the thoughts we think, so many of the beliefs we hold, so many of the ways we hold things and even reactions to things come from really old patterning from when we were growing up. They say that children up until the point of about 7 years old, and especially little kids, that we live in a theta state, which is a brainwave state, that where we're kind of like a sponge. Deep programming can happen when we're in that state. It's also a very relaxed state. And you know how kids are kind of in that kind of nebulous surfing zone. A lot of times it looks like they're in their own world. Well, that's probably a product of being in a theta state. And like I said, you're kind of like a sponge. And so that's where we pick up a lot of the patterning from our parents, the modeling from our parents. That's where we pick up a lot of conditioning that at this point in time, we might not really want to hold it that way. We might realize we've got kind of a reaction or kind of a baseline response to something that totally doesn't serve us anymore. It's like, I don't want to feel that way about that. So this is a way that you can shift that. It's also a way that you can, I'll walk you through it first, and then I'll talk about some other applications for it. So if you would just gently close your eyes, and then imagine in front of you a clock face. Not necessarily a clock, but just a clock face, so that you can get the spatial relation of how you think about something. So just imagine a clock face in front of you with the numbers, 12 o'clock above, 6 o'clock below, 3 o'clock to the right, 9 o'clock to the left. And then think of something that you really, really love. It could be a person, it could be a pet, it could be nature, it could be a favorite tree, a favorite flower, it could be a favorite food, something that you just have unequivocal good feeling about. And think about that. And then see where your eyes go. As you've got your eyes closed, as you think about that, see what direction your eyes go and what place on the clock your eyes move to when you're thinking about that thing that you really love. Good. And so just register that, and then go back to kind of neutral, still with your eyes closed. And then think about something that you really dislike. It could be a food, it could be a situation, it could be some sort of injustice, something that you just have a really bad feeling about. And then notice where your eyes move when you think about that. again on this clock face. And just notice where on the clock face your eyes move to when you think about that negative thing. Okay, good. And so there you have your 2 points of reference. One place on the clock face that is your positive, where your eyes go when you feel a positive feeling, and where they go when you have a negative feeling. For me, my positive feeling place on the clock is like 11 o'clock, and my negative place on the clock is like 7 o'clock. That's just me. So everybody's got their own thing. And then just close your eyes for a moment and think about something that, when you're just kind of at peace, kind of in neutral, kind of detached, neutral place. And see where your eyes go when you're just kind of, you feel neutrally about something. Okay, good. So now you've got positive, negative, and you've got neutral. And for me, my neutral was like 3 o'clock. Who knows why, but that's the way it was. So what you can do, the way you can use this is, if you have something that you perpetually feel negative about, and you kind of don't want to feel that way, like it makes you too reactive, it makes you, you just don't want to feel that way about it. What you can do is close your eyes and think of that thing that you have a negative reaction to, and then you'll notice it kind of lights up that place on the clock where you usually hold negative things. And then what you can do in your imagination is just move that thing to the place where you feel positively. That place, so for me it would be thinking of that thing, going to the 7 o'clock place where my eyes go when I think of something negative. And then in my imagination, pulling that thing up to the positive position, my 11 o'clock, where I hold things positively. So wherever your negative thing, you pull it to the place where you have that positive pull, or that positive place on the clock face. And it really changes your whole neurology around it. It's like all of a sudden it's like not a big deal. Or you can even, if you just want to feel neutral about it, you can pull it to the place where your neutral spot is. And it's just a really great way to kind of reprogram yourself. This is also an interesting way to observe, like, things that you might be deeply programmed about that you never really made that choice. So like just going into that quiet place, closing your eyes and thinking of something and seeing where it winds up jumping on that clock face. Like prejudices can show up that way. Just strange things that you never really chose. You just kind of like took things in from the collective or from early training or in unconscious patterning, old lineage stuff. So it's a way to kind of see, wow, that's interesting. Why does it, I never really even chose about that, but there it is, sitting right there. And here's another way you can use it. For instance, if you're a person who's wanting to, like you have a deep craving for some sort of food, but you really want to be over it because it's not working for you, you can, like let's say you want to, you're wanting to give up a craving for ice cream or sugar, and you can close your eyes and think of that thing, and usually if you have a craving for it, it's probably going to show up in the positive place. And then what you can do is close your eyes, think of that thing, see where it resides, and then pull it down to the negative place. And it'll shift it so that instead of desiring it, you kind of go like, you don't want it. Like you now have more of a negative association to it, and it can really break up patterns of addiction even. And certainly cravings and things. So it can work the other way, where you can take something and make yourself kind of have more of a negative association to it if you want to just avoid it for a while. And of course, this is all within your control, so you can always change things back. You can do whatever you want, but it's a really powerful way to shift your actual neurology around your associations, so that they can be more in your own patterns of choice. So play with that and see what you think. I'd be interested to see how this works for you, and if you get some value out of it. All right, take care. Have a great day.